So Sora 2 has taken over the internet, and today I will show you how you can make Sora videos way more productive, so you can 10x your output. You can do it a lot cheaper, 6 times cheaper than a normal Sora, and you can get higher quality and better use cases. Because in this video I will show you how you can, with one simple prompt, which you just put in your spreadsheet, you can make a video like this in seconds.
Hey paddle lovers, Black Friday is here and Paddle Freak has you covered. Right now you get 20% off everything in the web shop. Rackets, shoes, balls, you name it. Just use the code BF20 when you check out at paddlefreak.com and the discounts you...
So, and this is really easy to do because I will show you how you can set it up and how you can do this step by step. And if you want to have the full blueprint and more, you can check out my school community for link in the description and download this full guide or full blueprint and just import it from file here and just go plug and play with this system. So with that being said, let's start with this full video. So what we do, what you see here is the full breakdown of the full workflow. So what we can see is that we have a Google Sheet trigger 1. We have the make Sora video. We have to make Sora 2 video 1, which is actually the get the video. But I will show you guys how we set this up. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to open up or make a new Google spreadsheet. In this case I've used Google Spreadsheet. You can also use Airtable or something else, but in this case it's just the Google Spreadsheet. So we have two columns, the prompt and the output URL, and in the prompt you just fill in the prompt and then this whole automation will go automatically and create videos like this. So what we need to do is we need to add a spreadsheet. So if we go and search for Google Sheets and then we go for trigger on row edit because it is a trigger, then we need to fill in this on a daily basis or hourly basis or minute base. Let's put it on every minute for now. Then we need to choose the document. So I will choose this document. So when I've chosen this document, we can just choose the sheet, which just has one sheet in this example. So if we have this, we can trigger it on a row edit. So that will mean if I go into here and add a new row, it will actually trigger this full automation. And that's what I've set up also here. So if we go and take a look at what we have set up before, we can see it is the exact same thing. So the trigger is every minute. We have the form document based and the sheet is also sheet 1. It is in Dutch, but don't mind that. For the next one, I have the HTTP, which is actually the Sora 2 creation of the video. And how we are going to do this is through Key AI. So Key AI is actually the API configurator for this setup. So Key AI can actually build a lot of stuff. So I will show you a little bit more. Because if you are in the main screen of Key AI, which is actually the market, you can see all the video creations or image generations that we can use. So we can use the new Google Veo 3.1 model. We can also use Sora 2 Pro. We can use Sora 2 Normal. The difference between those ones is this is a full HD option and this is a 720 pixel option. And this one is a lot cheaper. So if we look at the credits that we can use for this to create a video of 10 seconds long, it's only 30 credits. And if we do it for 15 seconds long, it will be 35 credits. Not that much. And if we look at the Pro version, which is 1080p, so 80 pixels HD, it is actually 135 credits to run. Way more expensive. To be honest, the quality is a bit better. Especially on the big screen. But for simple things like we do, so let's say an advertising on a small phone.
And here's the part you've been waiting for. Sora 2 is now available on Key AI, making it easier than...
And if you have a nice looking one, you can also upscale it to the Pro, to the full HD. So, what I was saying, we have to get the Sora 2 in here. So what we can do is we go to the market again, then we open up the Sora 2, the normal one. And from here we need to do one thing, which is go to the API section. And from here we have two endpoints, the create task and the query task, so the post and the get. If we go back to the n8n workflow, we see that we have a HTTP step. So what we do is we add a new HTTP, and from here we will just import a curl. This will make it a lot easier for us. So if we go back to the Sora 2, create task, if we scroll down a bit to the request example and just copy the curl, then we go back into the HTTP request that we have and we paste the curl in. From here, everything will be filled in. The things that we need to do now is add a API key. So we can add an API key here, or we can do it in authentication. So the API key can be found if we go here and then go on the left to the API keys, and then from here you just copy your key and then paste it in here. So you just delete this section and paste it in here. Well, if I do this now, you will see my API key, so I'm not going to do that, but you get the point. You just paste here the API key in, and then it will be sent and it will be triggered. For this case, I have already an authentication set up, which is the header authentication, a key API, which is just my API key with authorization, which you just saw as a header. So I will not send it through because it's already here on top. And from the bottom here we have the JSON code, which is actually the full prompt. And if we open this up, we don't actually need this section, so we can just delete this section and we can just look at this prompt. So if we delete this prompt, we have a working, simple frame for the JSON file. The only thing that I'm now seeing here is that we have not specified the scape of the aspect ratio, which in this case is a landscape, and it's not taking over here, so it will probably be a TikTok, which is for me fine, so I'll just be aware of that, but for now let's do it this way. What I need to do is I need to execute this step, so execute workflow, or yeah, okay, this will not work because the prompt is required. Okay, yes. So what we have here is the prompt, and I needed to do one more thing, which is actually open up this one and then paste in the prompt right between those dots. So I will just select this prompt and take it over to there. It did not go right because we see it going here on the bottom. So I will do it once more. It will needs to be here. So now it's in here and it will work once we execute the workflow. For now I will just explain the next step. So that is the wait step. So I will search for the wait and I will say here 6 minutes. And why 6 minutes? Because when I look at the previous examples, which are just here, we can see how long it really took. So for the last one, the man on a pedal cord talking about the 20% Black Friday offer, it took about 169 seconds. So yeah, it can be 3 minutes, tops, maybe 4, and I will just to make sure it will be on a 6th. Maybe you have some problems with that, you can go a little bit higher, you can also set it to 10. It's an automation, so once you have filled in your prompt, the rest will go automatically. So if you have to wait 3 more minutes, in my opinion, it's fine, but you suit yourself. So for the next one, we do a HTTP request as well, because we need to have the get function. So this is the post function. So now it's creating the result. So this one is already created, but once we run it, it will create a new one. And then from here we have the get result. So we have to download this URL or get this URL and download it as a video so that we can actually set it to this spreadsheet. So what we do from here is actually the same as we did before. So you will go to the market, then click on Sora 2. The only thing is we change the endpoint. So we need to get a get task, a get endpoint. And from here we just also copy the curl. We go into the HTTP request and we import the curl. And from here you will need to do the same with your API key. For me, I have already pre-made this API key, so I will just add it like this. And then you'll see here the task ID. And the task ID can only be found in this previous step. So you will have to run it, once you have set it up, you have to run it and you will have to add this to these steps. And it will look something like this. It will be a JSON code which you can just get from here and paste it in here. So we will just do once together, but I will just finish this workflow for now. Because what we need to do now is actually edit the fields manually. So we have to get the data transformation. We need to do this, manual mapping, and then click here on this. And we do video URL, for example, because it is a video URL. From here we open up this module and copy this code, which will be in my school community and also in the description down below. And from here, this is only just to take out the URL because it will give multiple URLs, once to download and once to view. And we will need to have to download because if you click on it, it will just automatically download the video. And from here, we will also add the Google Sheets. And in here, we will append or update new row in Sheets. Now, we will choose the document and the sheet in this case. It will automatically search for the columns. So we will column to match on will be prompt. And from here, yeah, this is the same with the previous one. We need to have this input, so we can just copy paste it in here. So let's do one together, which I will just take out this for now, because otherwise it will maybe also run that one and I don't want it. So let's come up with a simple prompt. A woman on the padel court talking about how awesome the rackets from Padel Freak are and that they have a awesome discount for 20% off. This is the simple prompt that we have filled in. So what we will do now is execute workflow and let's see if something will come up. So what will happen now is that this one will go off. So we see that the row is added. It gets a HTTP request. And if we go into here and refresh this, we will see a new status running. So we see here that we have 2 running now because it is a new Google Sheet. That's what it sees. So it will run 2 times, but that's fine for now. So we will see this coming up in here, and then we will add the new things into this 3 steps. And I will wait for a few minutes and come back to you. Okay, so a couple minutes later it's actually finished, and if we look at the logs we see we have 2 successful runs and we see some results. So let's wait for a second to see those results, because what we see here is a fault error, and that is because we didn't fill in anything here. And that's also the case actually for this one, because we don't have a task ID yet. But because we have run this section, we actually can get the task ID now from here. Because we see here task ID. So what we do is we actually delete this value in here, which is the send query parameters, and we just copy paste this task ID in here. So we execute this one and then we see 2 success outputs. Then we have this, which should be running correctly. So we see 2 video URLs, which is also fine. And then the last step will be to add the URL to the actual spreadsheet. How we do this is we use the prompt as the matching. So what we can do is we go back into here and select the prompt and copy paste it in here. And then the output URL should be, of course, the latest thing that we did, the added fields. And we should paste it in here as an expression. And then we execute the step and it should work, and we should have 2 working output URLs. We can download them and watch them together. So we have the 2 working videos.
Black
Let's
Friday
do-
is here, and at Paddle Freak, we're giving you 20% off everything in the web shop. Rackets, shoes, balls, you name it. Just use the code BLACK20 at checkout and the discount's yours. Hit the link below.
looks quite good. And then we have the second one of the woman.
If you haven't tried the rackets from Paddle Freak yet, you're missing out. They're super light, insane control, and the power is unreal. I've been playing with this one for a month and it completely leveled up my game. And right now,
Looks also nice. And beware, this is just with simple prompting. You can do a lot better stuff. And this is also with the lower model with 10 seconds. So we can do multiple stuff with this. But as you can see, we just run 2 different videos at once. And it took 6 minutes to the full automation because we have to wait 6 minutes. We can do it a little bit less, but you can do this with 10 at a time or 5 at a time to be sure it doesn't break. But you can see we have multiple options to bulk create videos for our output. We can get more clients. So if you really want to learn how to grow and set up this kind of things, you can go to my school community where already more than 441 people are joined. And be aware, because the price will increase after 500 people. It's now only $27 a month, but it will go to $47 a month. So be quick and join the community before it's too late. Thanks for watching, and also subscribe to the YouTube.